I don't often seek out those that steal my energy, but in this case I'll make an exception. This week we're taking a look at Marvel Legends X-Men 97's Rogue. A beautiful Southern belle with no last name runs away from home after her bigoted father catches her making out too hard. Rogue's mutant powers manifested at this time, putting her boyfriend in the hospital.
Alright.
It turns out, Rogue steals the energy and memories of living beings through skin-on-skin action. Starved for affection, the only time she can touch another person is through clothing.
The rubber glove was surprisingly gentle.
Referring to even her enemies as Suga and Hun, the good-natured mutant is a mix of flirty and sassy, causing an entire generation to ask, why can't they draw cartoons like that anymore?
Articulation, bruh. Rogue's head's on a ball and hinge, allowing her to look left to right. She can look down all the way, although her hair looks a little funky at the back. No chances of getting her into any flight poses because that hair does not allow her to look up. And there is some tilt. There's no waist swivel, but there is an upper torso that gives you barely anything forward, a little bit more back, some tilt, and some rotation at that same joint. Arms rotate right around. There's a 90-degree bend at that single joint. There is a rotation at the elbow instead of the upper bicep. Ball unhinges all the way out. Bracelets do adjust to cover the gap. Hands rotate and hinge up and down. Rogue can give a big old booty out a good amount. There's an upper thigh swivel that does break up the sculpt. We get some new double jointed knees that are strapless and pinless. No boot swivel. Feet hinge down, hinge up, and rocks as hard as Krusty's plastic surgery.
Nonsense, Krusty. You look at least 10 years younger. Plus, I did your breasts.
Does anyone hear me complaining about the breasts?
Question of the week. Which character did Rogue get her strength and flight from? Is it A, Superman, B, Captain Marvel, C, Thor, or D, the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?
Accessories! Does this purse go with my bra, brah?
Rogue comes with a set of gloved fisted hands, a left hand gripping a glove, and an open exposed hand simulating her mutant abilities.
Go sit yourself. You know, if I could fly, I don't think I'd be sitting that much. But even with all that volume in her hair, Rogue can still go sit herself.
Answer of the week. Earlier I asked which character did Rogue get her strength and flight from? Answer, B. When stealing Captain Marvel's powers, Rogue held on too long and put her in a coma, keeping her abilities permanently. It was during this time that Professor Xavier invited her to join the X-Men. I guess he was in the neighborhood.
Alright, starting off with her Avengers look. Here's Marvel Legends Rogue. And the first attempt of this costume, a little too orange and a little too metallic for my liking. From the Juggernaut Build-A-Figure wave, Marvel's Rogue. And just for shits and giggles, let's do some head swapping. The X-Men 97 head does look great on the Avengers costume, but the head from the Avengers costume does look a little bit small on the X-Men 97 body. And as we wait for the camera to focus here, the old Rogue head does fit a little high up on that neck, and the skin tones don't quite match. I don't have a comic book version, so here's the MCU's Captain Marvel. Next up, her fellow X-Men and second in command. Here's Storm. And doing his best Randy Orton impression, the Human Torch, Johnny Storm. Equally neglected and misdirected, here's Marvel Legends Nightcrawler, a fellow Silver Fox, Magneto, and former sick kid turned little engine that could, because, you know, he's a tank, Wolverine. All the men come bearing gifts, here's Gambit, and multiple mans. Think unsexy thoughts. Think unsexy thoughts.
This is the best likeness to the animated series Rogue that we've received yet. The big hair gets in the way if you're looking to get her into flight poses, so the additional hair in the wind head sculpt would have been nice. The single jointed elbows is the biggest disappointment from this release, but the Hasbro team have said the female pinless double jointed elbows will be a slow rollout. I'm one of those people that missed out on the Uncanny Rogue, so for the glove holding hand alone, this is a must-have. In my local Toys R Us, I noticed that Rogue was the only one not available, so if that's any indication, you better get yours fast, because you know collectors won't be able to keep their grubby little mitts off her.
Get them off of me!
Make sure to like and subscribe, ding, to stay up to date with ya brah. And remember, collect responsibly. Or not, do whatever the fuck you want, I'm not your keeper.